Bow now, now, now. Bow now, 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 now. Hey guys, Bolt here. We're back with some Nancy Drew. We're here yet again. 1 second. I have to fix some of my stuff so I can actually see the recording properly. Alright.
Welcome to my latest case. Last train. Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray, I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell, I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci, only the most famous police detective in the country. And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend, Natalie?
Nancy. Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right. I'll bet you're
come
wondering where we're
on.
going. Well, we're going to Copper Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because see, one day in 1903, his train, this train, was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
She's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Hey, what's going on?
People should never go tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, brother.
It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Lori Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
So you think her disappearing like that is just some kind of publicity stunt?
I just think she couldn't resist showing off in front of all of us minor celebrities. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew. You and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy. Come here.
Excuse me for a second.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Any idea what he was doing?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Lori was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you see what it was?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Lori is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Lori scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Okay, I knew. Okay, so Joe's the laid back one. Frank is the uptight one. Okay.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later. This door goes outside. Opening it now would not be a good idea.
Okay, so that's the leaving. Like, to actually leave this train.
This must have been the sleeping car.
Must have been. Are we not sleeping? Okay, this is gonna be needed.
Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen your TV show.
Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Lori's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Lori's whereabouts.
Do you really think that a moving train can be haunted?
Sure. A train is basically nothing but a living space on wheels. And just like a house or a hotel, its walls can capture and hold energy, however infinitesimal, whatever its source. You see, what to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least.
That's a little hard to swallow.
It's all very scientific. But the fact is, Lori's missing, and I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
Charlena Purcell thinks Lori is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlena Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
What do you think of Tino Balducci?
I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
Is Lori a friend of yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Maybe she planned it that way.
You mean so we'd concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Pleasure talking to you.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture. picture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing? Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Laurie Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool. Nice try, Bess. No, really. You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Laurie. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the time she was allegedly kidnapped from her Vegas hotel room? Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape. It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning. Only it turns out she faked the whole thing. Of course, she claims her ex-boyfriend faked it to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped. Like anybody believes that.
Sounds to me like somebody has been spending a lot of time reading the tabloids.
George has. Very funny. So what else is going on?
Before she disappeared, Laurie told us that the purpose of this train trip is to find out what happened to Jake Hurley, the train's original owner.
Was he murdered or something?
No one knows. He was married to a woman named Camille, but she died, and he eventually vanished while mining for gold. His train was found abandoned in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada, with no one on board but his dead engineer.
Whoa, spooky. Have any theories?
Not yet, but the train is also rumored to be haunted by his dead wife.
So first Hurley's wife dies, then Hurley vanishes, then the engineer dies, then Laurie vanishes. A pattern, maybe? Bess, do us all a favor and leave the detective work to Nancy, okay?
Has either of you been to Copper Gorge, Colorado?
Never heard of the place. Why?
That's where the train I'm on is headed. Apparently Jake Hurley buried his wife Camille there after she died on the train.
She died on the train? Ew, creepy.
John Gray has set up a bunch of equipment in Camille's train car in hopes of documenting distortions in the electromagnetic field caused by her residual energy.
Say what? He's looking for Camille's ghost. Don't you ever watch him on TV? Just because I watch him doesn't mean I understand him.
I better go.
Remember, when in doubt, call.
Okay. So doubling down on the, hey, you should call us for any hints. And let me guess, the snotty detective that's doing absolutely nothing?
Hey, Nancy, right?
You've got a better memory than our hostess.
Who doesn't? Amateur detective, huh? Never thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
I don't know. Do you like what you do?
I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Tell me about them.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
She's attacking the man's ego. This is bad.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers. All have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
So, what do you think happened to Lori?
Well, she could have been kidnapped, she could have been tossed off the train, she could be hiding from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
So, you're gathering facts?
Of course. It may not look it because that's my style. I'm a low-key kind of guy. But hey, don't worry. I'll know the facts when I know the facts. The truth can't be rushed, you know.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
What about John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I talked to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
I understand that you found something
Oh,
on the
let's hope.
floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Where do you think it came from?
Probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure, in fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
You've been a big help.
Don't mention it.
Okay, that's good. Leave a pencil. Okay, that's cool.
Can't check that off. Check. Still have to do that. Check. I'm done with that.
Okay, so we ran into everyone else. I mean, I could probably go talk to
An
Priscilla.
old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall.
What, this?
Wonder why it's got all those symbols on it like that.
Okay. Okay. So that's gonna be a game later.
It's locked.
Let me guess, I can't get to the front of the train until later. So you need to be able to get that and the cherry. Okay. So this is take away, this is add. Okay. At some point, it'll be a quick time event, probably. Okay. So we know where that is. Oh. Hey, a puzzle. This looks like it's gonna be this corner. Okay, not that side then. Okay. The middle's fine. Okay. There's that.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buhl for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key?
Okay. Oh.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those two most wonderful of all three-letter words, the end, everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Voulet, who died about a year after they were married.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
Where did he meet Camille?
I don't know that. The circumstances surrounding her passing are a bit of a mystery, too. All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere. Although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated, and its location quite unknown.
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots. As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
In other words, you don't think he deserves all the attention he's getting?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives. Is that all, dear?
Why do you think Lori invited you on this trip?
No doubt because I'm such an authority on life in the Old West, and because I'm so good at using old information to unearth new information. My knack for research is, well, it's a gift.
Okay.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
My publisher thanks you.
Okay, so it looks like she's gonna be the one I use for a lot of information to kind of like figure out the story a little bit more. I'm just gonna have to check back with the detective and the paranormal investigator some points later. Left pickaxe and lamp with. Okay. So we'll be looking for pickaxe, but I don't think we ran into any of those.
What have you got?
Do you think maybe one of Lori's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Lori disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
See you soon.
You know where to find us.
Okay, so we're out of talking points. I would have thought they wanted to know about the coin at least. We do know about an emergency brake, but I don't want to pull that until later.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I've seen some of those symbols before. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
So the coins, I need to get more coins to get, I think it's this. What, the owl? So we need like, what, 7 and 10?
It's locked.
Need a key.
Thomasina O'Neill. Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano.
Okay. If I have a piano puzzle, I need to use that.
I wonder what's under here. And what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts.
This help?
I need something that will turn the bolts.
Okay, so not that. That's okay. So that's our people.
If I had some music, I could play a tune.
Cool.
The Little Book of Samplers.
Oh, more about what's in that thing. Okay, that's cool. I think that's actually what I need. So the cherry means, see, okay, the owl means wisdom. The cherry, hello? Oh, depart.
This looks like some sort of game. Nothing happens. I'll bet I have to wind it up first. Darn.
Okay.
Oops. Oops.
Huh? Do I have to touch him personally?
Shoot. Darn.
Huh.
I did it. Wonder what's in here.
Sheet music. Yippee.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Okay. Okay, nothing here.
pretty. Looks like some kind of gemstone.
That's it? We can't look into it more? Oh.
Eliza Sandberger.
Received it for the... If she was a real detective, she picked this stuff up. Oh.
There, all done.
Okay.
J.H. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Okay.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean?
Probably his wife. Okay, so I'm gonna need to know colors. No.
Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard.
AG? No. Periodic table. That book that's halfway off the shelf makes me want to take a look.
Wonder what Jake used this for.
Oh, there's the pickaxe. So this...
Wonder what Jake used this for. Another gemstone.
Well, the issue is I can't really look at that one. It looks like a tiger rock. Tiger gem. I don't know how to... Okay, so we found this one, amethyst. Tiger's eye is what I think it is. I think we're dealing with tiger's eye. Just in case that kills me.
like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon... Those are all gemstones, I think.
So, what is he... Did he make a gemstone factory? Is that what we're getting from this?
Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Actually, where's my book? This, I think, is what we're looking. I think AG is the symbol for silver. And that would be orange, blue, green, red, purple, and yellow. And that's that spinning wheel we saw earlier. Oh, another coin. Oh.
Lori?
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
Was anyone else in on the trick?
Just the engineer, and all he did was keep his mouth shut. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out NORAM Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
Why do you need a train to find out what happened to him?
Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except, I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him, and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Hardy guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show. And I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train. And now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those robberies. Inviting him here for this was a no-brainer. I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
So she has the hots for him. Okay.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good.
Okay.
In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, you know, just to see what she thought.
And?
She hated them.
Yeah. She's
Bye.
a secluded one.
You go, girl.
Yeah, she's reading it right now. Well, I didn't want to go this long, but hey.
I can use this to open that grate I saw in Camille's car.
Okay.
Locked, naturally. Wonder how you open it. Wonder how you're supposed to get this open.
Okay.
Looks like a dance floor, maybe?
Okay. So you're gonna need to know instructions for that. Okay. You're gonna need a certain name for that. I can do that classic Thomas Sanders thing to the actual detective. I'm better than you. But I'm not gonna talk to him.
What's up?
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
I'm confused. Are you a scientist or a psychic?
I happen to be both. What's commonly referred to as psychic phenomena is all a matter of energy. Just because we don't know where that energy is generated or how to measure it yet, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Trust me, either you or Lori is, or soon will be, in big trouble.
Could you be more specific?
Unfortunately, no.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Goodbye.
Wanted to give the people who actually cared mind kind of at peace, and then once we get done with the Hardy Boys, I'll finish up.
Yes? I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
And you won. Congratulations.
Did you know that Lori wants to be a romance novelist?
Doesn't everyone?
Do you think she could do it?
No. Could we please talk about something a little more pleasant?
I'll let you get back to your writing.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Nancy, what's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
You found Lori.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose. And as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her.
Show her what?
That old picture we found.
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew where that drop-off point was.
If the engineer had any surviving relatives, we may be in luck.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her. See you soon.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Just you darn sly dog, you.
More questions?
How would I go about finding out the name of Jake's train engineer?
If you're smart, you'd ask me. And because my work is going surprisingly well, during my next break, I'll log on to my archives at home and see what I can turn up.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Whoever invented the cellular modem, that's whom you should thank, dear.
I should get going.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
Okay, so basically everyone in this car is trustworthy. The other 3 people coming up on the train are people that want to get famous, basically. So, actually, before I get going, I do have, before I completely forget about this AG, what did I say? This was in this cart? No, next. The silver clue.
Well, it's the little lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
She disappeared because she wanted to see who'd find her first, which is why she left that clue behind.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue.
Okay.
That's why I gave it to you. I could have found Lori no sweat.
Can I leave now, please, please?
And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake hurling his mine, let me know, okay? Just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day,
You've been a big help.
Helping people's what I'm all about.
I need to ask him to get this stuff off the desk. That's gonna suck. Silver, correct. Cool. AG is silver. Alright, so we need orange. Blue. Green. Red. Purple. And yellow, so it didn't matter.
Wilson carbide and acetylene works. Always your friend, Thomas Wilson. Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance step. Maybe
Okay.
I better keep this.
Oh, okay. I get to keep it. Okay. Okay, so I just have this for now on. I'll start the next episode doing the dance.
Whoa! Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
There's no way Lori could have thrown the brake, unless she had someone else do it.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
We can worry about Balducci next time. I'm more worried about getting to the feet, and I also can get to the vent. I think. Is it this one?
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts.
It's not to unscrew them, it's to align them. Oh.
More pipes to connect.
Oh, they shift. This should be slightly easier. Okay, so the green move by themselves. The red and blue have to move together.
Here we go.
Okay. That was easy. Back to the dancing. So someone is attempting. Okay. Like I said, this will be what we start next episode on. It's an hour. We got an hour in. And I'm happy so far because I did not cheat so far. So my brain is still working at pretty good compatibility. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.